open your hands, as those of you who are familiar with Reconective healing already know, in an open, modified, normal anatomic position. But this time, I want your palms as close to each other as possible without touching. Really close, but without your fingers, without your palms touching. Focus all of your attention on that space between your palms. You can even just look at the space if you want. And while you're staring at that really close space, just try to increase the energy feeling in that place between your palms. Use your intention to try to increase that energy feeling. Don't let any energy escape. Hold it there. Squeeze it there. Compact it in there. Hold on to it. Notice the feeling. Whatever you're able to bring yourself to feel, hold on to that as tight as you can in that little squeeze of that space, not letting anything escape, and notice it. Now, let's do the second part. Start the same way. Keep your palms closest together as possible. And with that feeling you're aware of in your palms, slowly pull and slowly stretch that feeling. Pull your palms away from one another. Really slowly, really feeling, allowing yourself to feel the whole time. Focus your attention on that expanding space between your palms. Observe what you notice or feel. Allow the sensation of that energy in that space between your palms, allow it to increase. Allow your attention to simply notice that sensation increasing. Notice that as you do this, the energy actually continually expands. It isn't trying to escape. You don't have to stop it from escaping. Don't try to squeeze it or compact it. There's no reason to. In allowing it, observe its expansion. Allow it to continue on its own and see what it wants to do as you play. Now notice we've had two experiences. We had the experience of our hands really close and tight together, so bring them back in, and trying to hold on to the energy and keep it compacted, and then we opened up and allowed it to be. And we experienced that. So to talk about this, abundance is both experienced and expanding in our sharing with others. Let's talk about first our hands began the same way, palm facing palm and close together. Then your attention and focus was on the space in between. In the first part of the exercise, we tried to increase the sensation. That was intention. In part 2, we didn't try. We simply allowed for it by placing our attention on it. Intention tries. Attention allows. Again, in part 1, we didn't want to let the energy escape, so we held on to it. A little bit of fear, a little bit of concern, don't want to let it get away, and in holding on to it, it was sort of harder to find that energy because we were in a trying mode. But in B, we let go of trying to contain it, trying to do anything. We recognized there was no need to stop it. And we found out that it didn't want to escape. It expanded. We couldn't lose it at all. In part one, we squeezed it in, compacted it, and it was harder to find. But in part two, we let go of that compacting and it intensified. In part one, we held on to it. In part two, we allowed it to continue as we played. And we noticed how the frequencies flowed with this ever-increasing abundance and presence as we released. So the points around this discussion for us to play with include that abundance is both experienced and expanded as we let go, as we share it with others. The more we share our abundance, the more abundance we become aware of that we're actually receiving. The more of our abundance we give away, the more abundant we become. Why might this be so?
Yeah. I want to just spend one more minute on this, because I am experiencing, as you're talking about, holding the energy very tightly and compact. There is a strong force in this position, and at the same time, you want to hold your hands like that for a moment?
Uh-huh.
So there's a strong force in that position, but there is also a mindset that's going with it. So it's not that I'm not experiencing a kinesthetic charge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so interesting because the mindset of it is creating a tension around everything. I'm feeling like my shoulders are here. Like
there's definitely something here.
Right. So as you instructed, and we know this in Reconective healing. I mean, we understand that one of the most significant aspects, the unknown, is how is it that distance truly disappears as we open and create distance and space, but just from a technical standpoint, because you're doing this very technically. As we open up, I'm just really listening and trying to understand, how did this sensation change, which affected my mindset. I wasn't intending to take a deep breath, or my shoulders just relaxed, or none of those things were conscious. They just sort of came with expanding. And then when you said, it is not trying to escape. It is not trying to escape. That's, I think, a very important part of the awareness of abundance. It isn't escaping or looking to go anywhere. It becomes more of a matter of what is the difference between needing abundance and wanting abundance, feeling abundant, and becoming abundance.